Gentlemen, it's time once again to discuss things.
There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sydpart2's channel, and with me once again is Zazubaar and Milanjeftic1992, and today we will be discussing for an indeterminate amount of time Dark Victory and The Long Halloween, but not in that order, in the exact opposite order, but for some reason it's cooler to say it that way.
Hold on a second. Didn't you wasn't the coin flip practical effects or practical and non-practical effects or
What, the coin? I
yeah.
flipped this coin. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I wasn't gonna.
I just was so ready to say that for some reason. I think it's because I had
You herpaderped.
Okay, anyway, we're gonna do one video, but we couldn't decide what the topic was gonna be, so
Zazubar, you're
for
still echoing.
everything I just said, and in fact we're gonna be discussing practical effects versus digital effects.
All right.
Okay.
We still recording? Or are we
Yes, sorry
starting again?
about that, people listening.
Ian just had a major
Yes.
brain fart.
Yes. Shame on you, Ian. For this you must die slowly.
Well, we're all dying slowly. Ooh,
Yeah, I know,
Indeed.
but
got deep.
yes, I know, but you must die quicker than us.
So you don't want me to die slowly?
No, no, we're all dying slowly, but you're gonna die a little bit faster than us.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm sickly, so...
Dude, you just totally blew my mind.
Okay, so let's try to start on topic before we get off topic.
Can I just say I came up with the topic? Just saying.
Yes, Zazubar came up with the topic, and he constantly needs validation, so everyone clap for Zazubar.
And I already did a video on this.
Yeah, well, still, you don't need to be, like, grabbing the spotlight. I came up with the topic, I came up with the topic. You're like that little kid in class. It's like, it was my idea to discuss this. You're annoying, and I hate you.
Likewise.
Well,
Oh, it's like an
You know
old
what? Fuck
married
you. No
couple.
more Godzilla videos for you.
It's too late, man. I already got the one out of you, so.
Yeah, but now, like, everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, you have to be on screen with Godzilla again, and it's never happening again, so... Fail mode.
What are we talking
Well,
about?
we are
Well,
recording
here
with
we are,
Godzilla.
like, because yesterday, or, well, technically, no, yes, yesterday, because it's 1:28 in the morning, and I'm the only one whose time counts.
Apparently.
Certainly.
I helped Zazubar out with, he's doing, what is it, Godzilla Palooza?
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing a Godzilla Palooza-a-thon, and that's a really weird thing to say, but anyway, he needed an intro, and so I made Godzilla attack New York City using a combination of practical and digital effects. So here's an interesting point to start the discussion. So basically what I did is I took footage of a Godzilla action figure in front of an orange screen, and then I digitally imported that into a picture of New York City, into video taken in New York City by Zazubar, and video taken in front of Zazubar's green screen. So we got a weird blend of practical and digital video happening here. And I think it turned out fairly well overall. What do you think, Zaz?
I thought it turned out great. Very seamless. And it all came together into one really great and impressive package.
Yeah, I mean, I'm awesome, and we can all agree on this. And
Yes,
this is kind
that
of
is like a
really
fact of
point of the
life.
video to be making this point, but I think that they work best together.
I agree.
I think
Yes,
practical effects can look great, but if everything's too practical, then it gets either very expensive or you have to start like cutting corners, and that can make it
yes,
really
yes.
cheap.
I
And it's
agree.
At the same
the
time, if
best
everything's
example for
digital,
this. The best example for this is the Wolfman in the recent Wolfman movie. You know, there was just
Yeah.
such a wonderful blending of practical and CGI effects,
what they
and
do
they were kind of.
practical in that, because it looked all CGI to me.
Oh, really? Couldn't you tell the practical from the CGI? I think they blended it together so very well.
Nah, I
And
can
like,
Ooh, I don't agree. I don't
everything
think they
looked
blended very
CGI to
well at
me.
all.
Everything
Um,
on that looked CGI except for when he was like in a shadow. Then it looked like it was actually using practical parts.
well, the
really?
parts that were the actual makeup looked great, But then
Hmm.
wherever the parts where they were the Wolfman running on all fours, they look terrible because it's very clearly CGI.
I couldn't even tell that they used any practical effects on that.
Really,
Oh, hmm.
I like that is news to me that that movie had practical effects. I
that
enjoy.
was that was one of the biggest praises for it by a lot of people was the fact that they used a lot of makeup.
Nah, I didn't even notice. I didn't pay attention to like the word on it or anything like that. The only thing I really liked about that movie was Anthony Hopkins. Otherwise, the plot was very predictable.
Or
Yeah.
very convoluted.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. That is true, but Anthony Hopkins is a creepy, giggling old man. You know,
Anthony Hopkins was
Indeed.
great in it, and I was sitting there, and about halfway through the movie, I go, "Spoiler alert! Oh, he's the other werewolf."
Yeah,
And
seriously.
my dad's like, "That's not going to happen." He's the one that's talking about hunting werewolves and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, Anthony Hopkins is the other werewolf. Oh,
dun dun
And then they have a really
dun.
terrible fight.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh
fight.
no, a plot contrivance.
Ah!
A plot
Uh,
contrivance.
no, but I see. Here's an interesting tangent to it. Is I didn't even know that because it's in the way cinema has kind of progressed. It's become almost the default for people to use CGI effects. Um,
Yeah, and
the big surprise for a lot of people was the rotating hallway in Inception was actually practically done, and people just didn't believe it until they started seeing the pictures from outside of the set.
Yeah.
hmm, hmm.
Like I remember I told my dad and my friend Andrew that, and they're like, "What? No, that's not. That's got to be CGI. There's no way to actually do that." And then you see the like film and the pictures, and it's just incredibly intricate and this huge, giant, monument
Whirligig room.
powers of
Yeah,
set building.
yeah, just this
I
giant whirligig room.
People that have been subscribed to me for a long time might know this, but for those of you that don't, I used to be in set building in high school. I was in stagecraft. So
Yes,
I
and you once licked a guy.
yes, I
Oh,
once licked a guy's face, but that was in drama.
while he was
You told
crying.
me
While
about
he was
that.
crying. Yes.
I'm
You were
talking about
you.
stagecraft, not
All right.
improv.
All
But
right.
anyways, stagecraft. Yeah, I like built the sets that you would see in plays and stuff. Um,
Hmm.
I have a particular knack for waterworks for some reason.
Kevin Costner would love you.
I don't know. I just like I made a working well, and I helped design a fountain, and just for some reason, all the productions I worked on, I ended up creating the water effects. Um,
All right. All right. We get it. You're fucking incredible.
well, duh. I
Thanks.
mean, this is the point of subscribing to Sydpart2's channel, so you can witness the awesome.
All right, but you kind of everybody already knows you're fucking incredible. You're making it kind of redundant by keep drawing attention to it. All right.
You make
No,
yourself seem less incredible.
no, I'm just
Yes.
pointing. I'm discussing the why I'm impressed by these certain things because
Okay.
it's part of my background.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Right.
Um,
To tell you the truth, I much prefer the old 80s effects. The reason being, it's something really there. People might disagree with me and say like some of these effects look kind of cheesy, but if
like, are
it
you
was a
talking about 80s
choice,
practical or 80s
yeah,
digital effects?
practical,
Okay.
fucking 80s. Basically, there's something psychologically satisfying of actually seeing something there on screen. Because I don't know if it's with you, but um, the Star Wars prequels, they basically killed CGI for me. It's like
Mm,
whenever
It
something
died
CGI
before
comes
that
on,
with me.
yes, yeah, whenever something CGI comes on me, the emotional investment isn't there. It just I can tell immediately that is a computer image. While in the 80s horror movies like The Thing and such, you see the actual thing,
I
and
agree.
it's it's gooky and it's greasy and it's bloody and it's raw and it's kind of fucked up looking, and there's something, I guess, uh subconsciously, satisfying to actually see something there, and you're kind of turning this weird ass skin puppet into the most horrifying thing ever. There's kind of like there's more of a connection there, something that
yeah.
CGI doesn't really have.
See, something I found interesting about CGI is I was very convinced by it when it first started getting really big. Like, I had no problem with the first Star Wars movie when I first saw it in theaters. The other example that I always point to, have either of you seen one of the original DVD releases of the first Harry Potter movie recently?
Yes, actually, I have.
Like the very first one, you've seen one of the first line DVDs.
Yes.
I have the VHS tape.
Okay, go watch it again and watch the scene where they're in the bathroom with the troll.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like video game looking CGI there. Like, and I never noticed it until I watched them again after this, visual effects revolution. Because let me point this out. I don't mind CGI being used, especially when it's used to create things that could never possibly exist. Not that I'm a fan of the movies, but the Transformers makes perfect sense
Yeah.
Mm.
to use CGI. But
The Hulk is that way for me.
Yes,
to
that's
a
right.
point, though, I was disappointed by the visual look of the Hulk in Avengers.
I
Um,
liked him.
I could tell it was fake. It was weird because he was sitting right next to Iron Man, and the thing is, they have digital and practical Iron Man, and I cannot tell the difference no matter how much I scrutinize looking at it, except for the fact that usually the digital one is the one flying. But he's sitting right next to Iron Man, and Iron Man looks 100% convincing, and I just look at Hulk, and I can tell it's CGI. It
I don't
bugs
know.
the crap out
I
of me.
kind of forgave it because I deep down I knew, yeah, but it would look worse if it was a guy in makeup. I don't know. I just kind of
I
accepted it.
The thing
Well,
is,
not if they get someone like Andre the Giant sized.
Sure. I want to go back to an
um,
early point that Milan said about practical effects are oftentimes better because they're actually in front of the camera.
mm,
I break it down into two generalized categories. And you guys are totally free to disagree with me. Slow moving things look better in practical. Fast moving things look better in CGI. Because with a
mm,
slow moving object, you have to feel the weight of it when it moves.
yes, yes.
And with a slow moving object, it's on screen more, and you have to buy more that it's part of that same environment, that same plane of reality.
Mm.
With CGI, and you're seeing something that's slow moving, very quickly you'll learn that it's not part of the same reality. And the thing about CGI that is at default to practical effects is the fact that practical effects have weight. CGI does not have weight.
That's actually that's a very good point. That see, there's this thing. The creature must match its surroundings, match its world, because
Yeah,
in cinema, if you just have like a normal setting, with no lighting, no no particular standing out, cinematic features, and you just have like a weird ass monster, completely out without any lighting or any sort of cinematography, then it stands out so very much. But if you have like and I hate to point for this, but the Transformers movie where everything's kind of tilted and there's like everything sort of has the same sort of cinema the Transformers seem to fit into the explosions in the city and the way they shoot it. No, I'm not saying that the Transformers is a good movie. It's just it's shit, but you can tell that these creatures belong in this particular world, no matter how
except when they put them in the
inane.
same frame as people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that can be pulled off, but you have to shoot the people
I think part of it is
similar
because
to, yeah.
Transformers, like I was talking to the Jew and Jeremy about this yesterday. I never knew this, but apparently they used several terabytes just to get the transformation scenes um, done. Like they had just giant sections in these giant computers of hard drives of just terabytes that they're pulling in and out to get each animation of them transforming done. And I like that they put that much work into it. I still don't like the movie because, believe it or not, Michael Bay, you need a plot.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
one of the big things for me is that I'm always more
CGI
concerned.
replaces plot at some points, doesn't it?
But
Yeah,
dude, no, you don't. You just have to throw explosions at the screen and show, some pretty girls running away in slow motion. That's
yeah,
all you need. That's the pinnacle of cinema right
Yes, you're
there.
right.
right. That is what
Because Citizen
all
Kane
beautiful
is filled with
cinema
that.
has built
Yeah,
to.
yeah, it is.
And
It is.
let's take this opportunity to switch over. Okay, we're good.
So
Um,
Citizen
yes,
Kane
cinema has
needed
built up
more
to slow
tits.
motion explosions and boobies bouncing and
Yes.
giant gun battles. I mean, fuck subs. Fuck I
Who the fuck needs a character arc?
Yeah.
Damn right, motherfucker.
Well, no, like I mean, I have a different perspective on it because I've started using so many digital effects in my movies since Epic Quest,
Mm.
or more since I got a blue screen, I guess.
Yeah, but you use them for more comedic effects, you know.
Well, that and I use it because it's so like much cheaper. You
That
know,
too. Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
for someone on my level, I would never begrudge someone using digital effects to sell a scene.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, but
I
the
caution
thing,
against how much you want to use them depending
mm,
on the tone of your movie.
yeah.
True.
With me, I think it works because it
You're
doesn't
doing
matter if it's
extremist
PG.
comedy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
your films, Ian, they're a lot more they have this kind of, backyard movie maker kitsch feel to them, which really fits it. They have it's like the ultimate backyard movie universe, you know. And with you, the kind of bad, not really bad, in your movie universe, your effects, kind of cheapy effects, they really kind of work and they fit into the world. But if they use these type of effects in a movie that has a higher budget, then those bad effects would really stand out. I mean, if you're gonna
yeah. I mean,
have,
that's the thing. Just to be fair, I do use a lot of bad effects, but I knew that they were bad.
yeah,
Just to say, I think I beat my own local news
Yeah.
just to show how good some of my effects could get. Um, I like to point that part out because I seriously I took um, someone that was visiting my mother and I was like, hey, can I show you something real quick? And I played a bit of the news broadcast scene, and he's like, oh my god, that's awesome! You filmed that? That's better than our local news. And I was like, yes, awesome, awesome. No, but just I do like to use digital effects. The point I was trying to make is I like to use digital effects because they're a good way to add a an extra level to your film when you're working in a low budget kind of production.
yes,
But
You're able
also,
to do more with less.
yeah, exactly.
yes,
But also,
yeah,
I think that there's a line, and unless you're parodying effects, then you really have to see where, or you have to know how far you're going to go with it.
Yeah. Because
yeah,
the
and
big thing for
besides,
me is, do the two
uh,
things fit in the same plane of reality? And with your films, again, I think it works because, as Milan was saying, it's got this kind of backyardy kind of feel. Like we know those effects don't look like they belong in the same plane of reality, but we're going to create this different universe where they do. And that's what how
mm-hmm.
your movies come off to me.
Yeah.
To use a
And
recent example of a big budget movie, the prequel to The Thing, by the way, terrible movie. Um, um, I'm sure Milan hates it. So
yeah.
the effects on The Thing are all CGI, and there's no excuse why this should be that way. I mean, there is not a frame of that movie where it doesn't look like a video game, and it's
It's so shit.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's like having prostate cancer in your ass.
Wait, that's huh?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah,
ha.
what Ian
Uh,
said. But the big thing for me is that when you got two things that don't look like they belong in the same plane of reality, you get this emotional disconnect between audience and crew and story. And when that
exactly,
happens, you lose
exactly.
your emotional impact. And when you're doing that with a horror movie, it's even worse.
It makes it comical. It makes you can't take the thing seriously.
Now, what do you think of have all of you seen all the Freddy Krueger movies?
Most.
Um, most of them, yes, but it's been a while.
Well, see, the thing is, Freddy Krueger went from a very all practical effects to being one of the groundbreakers in the horror genre of using CGI.
Yeah.
I believe it was one of the first major motion pictures to use 3D. Um,
Not that it
just
looked good.
it did not look good, but it was innovative. I mean, King Kong doesn't look good, but it was innovative.
I
Uh,
really doubt. I mean,
Oh,
the
I
the first one,
disagree, but
I love the King Kong movie. It's great.
no, but you're not going to tell me that you believed those effects.
Well, of
yep, they
course,
look like they
that's
belong
the
in the
same
same
thing with your
reality.
that's the same thing. It's like your movie. You don't when you watch
No,
King
no,
Kong
King
from the
Kong was definitely supposed to be taken seriously, and for the time, it was groundbreaking, so people were in awe of it, but not because they thought it actually looked like an 80-foot gorilla. They were in awe of it because they'd never seen something like that on film before. Um, my point being that
I know, but but the thing with King Kong, like it made a world where it fit. I mean, like
Yeah.
it has this sort of dream
Yes.
quality to the world, I mean,
Yeah, fair
when you
enough.
look
But
at
my,
King,
my
yeah,
point being that, well, first of all, Freddy Krueger, it was all dreams. Ha, good connection. Anyway,
ah,
but no, but Freddy Krueger used like digital effects and 3D for the first time in any horror movie that I know of.
True.
Um, so I mean, back then it really was groundbreaking, and that sold the world. It was a dreamlike world where it could work. Now it was a little awkward because it did that kind of like theme parky 3D where it goes, put your glasses on when you see this icon kind of thing,
Yeah.
and
mm,
that kind of killed the scene a little bit. But because of how different it was, it really did change things. But Freddy Krueger went from very practical, all on screen makeup effects and prosthetics and God, the first movie, the scene where they killed Johnny Depp, those idiots didn't think, hey, maybe we should reinforce the floor if we're gonna flood this room with fake blood. But no.
Have you guys seen the remake?
Yeah, but it's not.
yes,
Overdone
My
with
point being,
CGI.
my
that's the
being,
thing.
so in the first movie, no, no,
It's not
hold on,
scary. Sorry,
shut your
sorry,
mouth, Milan. In the
sorry.
first movie, we had all these practical effects. Then as the movies went on, we started getting animatronics, like the little alien ripoff Freddy was an animatronic figure. But then as the movies continued to go on, we started to go digital up until the new point, up until the remake, where it's all done with digital effects and it doesn't work at all.
Because it's not
Besides,
No.
supposed to look dreamlike. That's just supposed to look realistic, and it doesn't.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can argue that, the first movies were kind of done practically, and so they had a more, frightening impact, and the more CGI, the more computer graphics that were involved, the less scary it became. You can argue that, but, I don't
Well,
know.
I
That's
don't think it was the effects that made it less scary. I think it was that Freddy turned into a pun, like
True.
just
yeah,
pun.
True.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, still the scene that I always remember from Freddy Krueger is Freddy Krueger 3, well, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, where they explain his origin of his mother being locked in a room with a bunch of crazy guys and just being raped over the course of a weekend, and that's how he was born. And that actually led to one of my favorite bits that I ever put into a paper. It is I'm a philosophy major, and I said in one of my papers, philosophy is Freddy Krueger, the nightmarish bastard child of 1,000 madmen.
That's really
Bravo,
indeed.
bravo,
You will
bravo.
not understand the full implication of that until you actually read some Heidegger or some Nietzsche. Um, but my
Anyway,
point
back to effects.
No, my point
Yes.
being is that
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger and
asylum rape
Jason
aside.
lost their edge as they became more about comedy. I don't think it was the effects that changed that genre.
King Kong is an interesting example. Going back to that because he's one of the few characters who has been done in nearly every single variety of effects you can come across.
Yeah.
First movie was stop motion.
Mm.
The times Toho made Kong movies, when he fought Godzilla and King Kong escapes,
Guy
it
in a
was
suit.
pseudomation. The '76 remake of King Kong and King Kong Lives are pseudomation, and then we get to the '05 remake and it's all CGI. And
Mm.
strangely enough, the two that were the four, but the other two are debatable. The '76 remake of King Kong doesn't work because the pseudomation is very out of place because everything else is either elaborate set or the location suiting.
Now,
There's
was
nothing
Pseudomation
else.
that's were they using what, guys in costumes or something
Yes,
like that?
suit
Pseudomation,
animation.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
yeah. Um,
Dumbass.
and don't blame him, no, because
All
it's
right.
actually not a real word. Um,
Uh,
so
but still, suit animation.
No,
true.
I thought he was saying pseudo like fake.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
okay, no, it's suit
All
animation.
right. You are
So
forgiven. You are forgiven.
so the thing is that Kong is the only thing in that world that is done that way. There he
Mm.
fights a giant snake, but that's a rubber puppet. So it looks very unconvincing, and whenever you see Kong compared to other aspects, it looks very out of place. And when you compare that to the '05 remake and to um, the '33 film, you don't get that because there's all these dinosaurs and other elaborate fantastical things that are
Mm.
done in the same way, so they fit.
Mm.
Um, so I feel like
Um.
sorry, go on.
Would you say the Peter Jackson one has a similar thing where the majority of it's CGI, and so would you say kind of it works on the same way, since it does also make this sort of very fantastical, dreamlike Art Deco-esque world.
I
Yes,
didn't
but
care
it's
for
not
the
solely CGI. It also uses
Mm,
a great variety of practical effects. There's a lot of set building in
yes,
that film and
yes.
miniatures.
Mm.
true. I don't like what was it the villagers or the tribe wasn't that
Skull Islanders.
yeah wasn't that done with miniatures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
The
See,
entire
yes.
scene where Kong breaks out of the wall in the remake is all miniatures,
okay.
aside from Kong himself, and it works because it's trying to create this very fantastical world. Where
Mm, mm.
'76 was trying to be this diehard realistic film and it didn't work. Um,
Yes,
Didn't care
that's.
for the animation style in the remake. I liked that movie saved itself because of the score actually did a lot for me in that, and the
Mm.
characters. I did not care for the story that much, even though it was fairly close to the original, and I didn't care for the effects terribly because it looked very video gamey to me. Like, in fact, I remember playing the King Kong video game, and it was shockingly similar. Um,
You play the King Kong video game.
it
not
was
like I
so
went
good.
bought
That game
it.
is awesome.
Not I
Really?
didn't go and buy it. It was on. It was like when you walk into a video game store and they got something playing on the thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was one of those. So I played the King Kong video game and I beat the T Rexes. Shockingly easy. That scene seemed like it should have been a major part of the game because the fucking T Rexes and he
yeah,
doesn't go up against anything that big again.
yeah.
Just saying.
It's better
Uh,
in the movie.
yeah.
Yes, yes, hell
He
yeah.
fights fucking four.
No,
Yeah,
three. No, he fights three. He fights
I
three
know he
giant
fights at
T-Rex.
least two at one time.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, no, he fights all three at once. Actually, at one point, he actually
yeah, but
fights
one
all three.
falls.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
All
You're
right,
right.
who cares? Point is, he fights a lot of them.
No,
giant monkey fights
I
gorilla.
didn't care for
Giant gorilla fights blizzards. Whatever. Okay, let's move on.
I didn't care for the digital effects in the Jackson remake. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm sure we're going to get a release of it in the next couple of years with updated effects, if it hasn't happened already, and it's
Mhm.
going to look better. But
There
still,
is a director's cut.
Really?
is it updated effects or is it just updated plot?
I have to ask my friend because he's a bigger fan of that than I am.
Like I watched the director's cut and I didn't believe the effects anymore. And actually, in the process of trying to watch the director's cut, I reaffirmed my position on piracy. Um,
Ah, yeah.
well, no, like I go, okay, all right, director's cut. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch Kong, and then I see that the director's cut that I want to watch instead of the theatrical. So I try to get it on Netflix, not on Netflix. I try to download it from Amazon, not on Amazon. I finally find it on one of the PlayStation Store movie things. So I download it in 1080p. Takes 2 days to download onto the thing, and I can only watch it once.
Ah,
This is fucking bullshit. I should have just downloaded it from the goddamn computer. And we're gonna switch over on that. No, just once again, we embrace the tangent over here.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Zazubar. I'm gonna ask you a question too, Ian, but first Zazubar. Besides Godzilla, what do you think is the best sequence of practical effects in any horror movie or monster movie besides Godzilla?
You mean just like the use of practical effects? Where is it the
Yeah, the
greatest?
best. Yeah, the best. In your opinion, the best use of practical monster effects in any movie
I
besides
think
Godzilla.
I think The Thing is a great example of it.
Does it
Um,
have
Mm-mm.
to be a monster, or can we just be practical effects in any horror movie?
In any horror movie.
Okay, definitely The Shining.
The Shining?
mm,
Are you talking about the dog giving the guy a blowjob in
yeah,
that
No, I'm
room?
talking about the scene where the elevator opens and
yeah,
Yeah,
blood
that's right.
just
all real.
out of it.
Oh, that was really good.
It's very impressive.
That like I discussed it a little bit when I did my Who Reviews the Reviewers video, but Kubrick actually fucks with your mind in that movie in ways that you don't understand because the architecture of that building, the way he shoots it, cannot possibly exist. And it's not a fault like, oh, they obviously were shooting on a set, so they changed rooms and they didn't think about locations. No, the way he shoots this, like the way he shoots some scenes, he clearly shows that this is supposed to be this way, but then you realize it, and the more you think about it, the less it works, and it's creepy. Like the famous one is the kid's riding his little tricycle, whatever, and the
Mm-hmm.
camera's following him. You
Yeah.
see him go around a corner, and the wall he passes is about the thickness of your hand if you were to just place it straight on the wall. And it'd be, from thumb to pinky is the entire wall. But he keeps going down this hallway, and there are rooms on that side of the wall. And then he goes into one of the rooms, and it's this lavish suite. And it's the one where that old, disgusting lady was. Once again, amazing practical effects.
Yeah. Just
But
some
it's the
fucked
one where
up
that
shit
old,
there.
disgusting lady was. And we're talking about, 3 large rooms. And it's like, it's purposely done to mess with your head because
Yeah.
it could not possibly be built. And
Yeah.
that just speaks to the genius of that was Stanley Kubrick.
That's some Lovecraftian shit right there.
Yeah.
Dude, you just
I
totally
mean,
blew my mind.
yeah, well, like, Kubrick liked to fuck with people. There was a map of the maze for the crew in that movie,
Yeah.
and there were 2 maps. He only handed out the correct one to some people.
Ah,
I'm liking Kubrick more and more. God
he was kind of a dick.
damn. What an awesome dick.
Yeah,
Uh, I
that
mean, it
sounded
adds a
wrong.
level of fear to the like. He never gave any of the actors the good map. Is the some of the crew members that he knew needed to have the good map, he would give that to. But the thing it did is the scenes that are shot in the maze are very frantic, just from the angle of the camera too, because a lot of those shots were just stuff that people were recording when they were lost inside there.
Yeah,
That is good.
yeah,
Yeah,
and none of it was done with CGI.
yeah.
Yeah.
CGI didn't exist.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
You don't need computers to fuck with
Well,
your
wait,
mind.
what year did Shining come out? Because CGI technically existed with Lucas, I
Like
guess.
And Close
80.
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But damn, man, you don't need computers to fuck with your brain.
No, not at all.
Not at all. All you need is plastic and rubber and a lot of slime.
Indeed. Just to throw out another giant monster example that's not Godzilla with great suit effects, um, is the Heisei Gamera trilogy, which have some of the greatest practical suit effects I've ever seen. Um, the thing is, though, that they're a good example of a mixture. While most of the time the monsters are practical suit effects and they look fantastic, there are times where they use CGI enhancements, particularly when Gamera and his enemies are flying, and also when they're doing moves that you can't do with a guy in a suit. So I think that CGI can work in a fantastic way when you're using it to enhance a practical effect.
Yeah.
Let's face it, you can't have a giant turtle that weighs over 300 pounds throw a really strong punch. You just can't do it. You can have him wiggle his arm a little bit, but it's not going to be a punch. So you use a little bit of CGI enhancement to make the arm look more versatile.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, but the advantage of having the suit being there is that you get the weight of this giant, humongous monster moving through an actual city
Hmm.
Hmm.
or a
Hmm.
miniature. So you get that weight and you get that versatile movements. So it's a
Also,
fantastic mixture.
yeah, and you get the sheer joy of seeing all these little miniatures just completely destroy. You know what I love when these miniature cities are very detailed on the inside. So when the monster crashes into them, you actually see the little desks and chairs fall out, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that is so cool.
You guys mind if I go on a quick tangent?
Go
Go ahead.
ahead. We
So
embrace the tangent here on Sid's channel.
so
But if
as
you
the
ever go to
Godzilla,
Milan's channel, there will be no tangents.
yeah.
No, you will die slowly. No, you'll die quickly if you go on a tangent on my channel.
Okay, so I'll be sure not to go on your channel. No, I'm kidding. Um, the
Oh,
thing
you
about the
you
Godzilla
can, you
series was
can,
that
but go ahead, go ahead, sorry.
No, okay, I'll try to make this quick. Godzilla got taller as the series progressed. Like he started out at around I don't know, 167 feet, I think is the figure. And then by the time the series is over, he had gotten up to nearly 300 feet. So, that's a big gap. So, as he got bigger, the buildings didn't need to be as detailed because you weren't, you weren't seeing them closely enough. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
so the thing was, when they got to a certain movie and they wanted to do really elaborate miniatures, they decided to make Godzilla smaller only because it would be easier and more cost effective to make the buildings more detailed and have all those desks and things fly out. Like, one
Mm-hmm.
of the biggest criticisms of the '84 Godzilla film is that Godzilla was humongous, and they do some really elaborate exterior miniatures, but when Godzilla crushes a building, you don't really see too much stuff fly out, so it's a little, it's a little less real.
Convincing.
Yes.
All right. This is a good point to transition then. Let's talk about we've been mainly praising practical effects, but let's talk about their failings because I mean, I've seen some horrendous practical effects and I've seen great practical effects in horrendous movies. So do you think there's a point where it doesn't matter what effects you're using, you can still kill a movie?
Well, the thing with practical effects, it's just one part of the movie making. I mean, you look at like some of these, some of these, like old, like 80s movies, like with a smaller budget. So they basically invest all their money into the practical effects, but they hire shitty actors and basically sit around getting high while writing the screenplay.
Right.
So yeah, but so the practical effects, they don't really make the movie. The plot and the story and the characters make the movie. The practical effects is just another tool of the movie maker.
Hmm.
Right.
Well, like what's the worst practical effect you think you've seen in something then?
Um,
Ooh.
let's see. The no, that's not quite true. That was quite awesome.
The
Um,
puppet in Reptilicus.
Of course, Zazubar pulls out a movie no one but him's ever heard of. Like,
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
your subscribers haven't even heard of half this shit.
Yeah. No, my subscribers have. You'd be surprised.
Well, they're all, giant lizard enthusiasts.
Yes.
Yeah, like, are you guys like sexually attracted to giant lizards?
There's actually a thing
No.
that's actually called, what is it, like,
Like,
uh,
are you guys
I
like
don't know what it's called
scalies?
because I don't have it.
Are you guys like scalies instead of like furries?
What
Uh,
certain
there's
things?
there's an actual thing. Basically, they all get into this one big room and they play Godzilla movies, spliced in with, sex, porn sounds like and they all have giant rubber, Godzilla gloves, and they basically group masturbate themselves while watching Godzilla sex flicks. I forget what
So
they're
now that we
called.
have a glimpse at Milan's midnight doings, um,
You don't want to see my midnight doings,
you
trust
just
me, my
described it to us. No,
No,
yeah.
it's in Warren Ellis's book. It's called Crooked Little Vein. He
Oh
basically
yeah,
just
Oh,
yeah.
really?
uh,
Anyway,
Warren
moving
Ellis.
because this is actually somewhat disturbing.
Read Crooked Little Vein. It'll make you vomit 3 times and then die laughing.
It cannot possibly be worse than the Stairway to Heaven book because someone decided to give the Led Zeppelin group an octopus and they
That's
put it in this giant pool and then they had groupies. The groupies got in the pool naked and exactly what you're thinking happened.
so. Were they
Oh,
in Japan? Were they in Japan?
No,
Oh,
but it puts, anime to shame.
ugh.
Because, I mean, what else do you get Led Zeppelin besides a live octopus that's like 8 feet long? Jesus Christ.
Drugs.
oh shit! See, you
I
gotta
was.
laugh. You gotta laugh or you cry.
Otherwise, you lose faith in humanity.
That
Um.
happened a long time ago.
So to bring it back to the topic, the reason why those practical effects don't work is not only because they look terrible in Reptilicus I'm talking about, but also because the story and the acting is terrible, and the movie tries to play up the practical effects that they look better than they actually do by having these really elaborate attack scenes where this puppet basically rubs up against buildings that for some reason collapse, and it shoots out green slime. Anyone enticed to see this movie yet? I didn't think so. Because this scene goes on for about 15, 20 minutes.
All
And
right.
it's
Well, um, to answer my own question, the worst movie I've seen that has practical effects in it, I still like this movie, and don't judge me for it, but I do like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
ooh,
Me too. I like it very much.
it's a
But there's
huge
that,
guilty pleasure for me.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
that scene where
yeah,
they're in, what is it, Venice, and Venice is being destroyed.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That was done with miniatures, and it looked like absolute crap, but
yeah.
I still enjoyed the
It's a
movie for
fun
some
movie. It's a
reason.
fun movie.
It's something.
Mr. Hyde
Yeah,
doesn't look that good.
yeah,
Yes,
but it's
it's
fun. It's a giant, grotesque, bloated Hulk reject. But
He
yeah.
looks better
that's
in CGI in Van Helsing.
that's
No, actually, I enjoyed him in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen more than I did in Van Helsing, and I enjoyed both of those more than I did Hulk and Avengers.
Ooh, I can't agree there.
Ooh, no, no. I loved Hulk because he was big, green, and ugly.
He punched Thor in the face.
No, no, I'm not saying
Yes.
as a character. I'm saying as like the digital effect of Hulk.
Oh,
I don't know. I
Van
liked it.
Helsing looks terrible.
Van Helsing, I enjoy too.
Yeah, I have it on DVD. It's a
Yeah,
great
Yeah,
yeah,
me
film.
I do
too.
too. The movie's a lot of fun, but the
Yeah.
CGI effects are just overdone,
Oh, definitely.
and you
Mm.
can
But
very easily tell when
best
something.
line in the movie, best line in the movie, hands down. Don't worry, I'll get a new wife. He was just such a G. He didn't even give a fuck.
Yeah,
They were sitting there crying to him. They were right in front of his face. He's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck about you." They're like, "You don't care about us." He's like, "You're right, I don't."
Dracula was a fucking pimp in that movie.
Yes.
He
Anyway,
is.
anyway.
I don't understand what people's complain about that one. He says like, "Oh, he talks fun. He's fucking Dracula." But
I know. Have
Anyway,
you ever
they
seen a
have
Dracula
a
movie?
I do not go blah blah blah.
oh
I don't even know what that's from. I just saw
the
that
fight
on TV recently.
It's probably on
the
Ed,
fight.
probably from Ed Wood.
No, no, no. It's a trailer for one of the new like Pixar movies or rip-off
Oh no,
Pixar movies, whatever.
that's Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks it. I just saw that. I do not go blah blah blah.
Does Adam Sandler make good movies anymore? No,
Well,
What about
this.
Billy Madison? Did you enjoy Billy
that
Madison?
was a long time ago.
But
Mm,
did you enjoy Billy Madison?
Sure.
Well, you can always have the memory of Billy Madison and Chris Farley taking off his shirt to encourage Adam Sandler to get more answers correct, because that was just funny.
it's
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore was good too.
Come on,
mm,
Bobby.
On that note,
fight between a fucking werewolf and a giant bat monster.
yeah, that was cool.
Too bad
That
it
was
was all
badass.
CGI.
Yeah,
But
too bad it
still,
was
it
all
was
CGI.
badass. It was just so badass. I didn't even
Sure.
care.
Quick question: what's your favorite like old movie monster? Like
Wolfman.
Dracula, werewolf, Frankenstein monster, mummy.
You mean all those old
Uh,
classic Universal monsters?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wolfman,
Uh,
hands down.
yeah.
Mine,
Same here.
mine is Frankenstein.
You like the Doctor Frankenstein? That's a little weird.
Yeah,
No, no, no. I
Milan, you
like
gotta specify. You gotta say Frankenstein's monster.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, Frankenstein monster, Frankenstein. I just love Boris Karloff's performance in that. It's just so heart wrenching. Oh, you
We
poor dumb.
belong dead.
Yes, that
Hmm.
was great.
I don't know. I didn't really care for any of the Wolfman movies in particular. I mean, they're okay, nothing special to me. I
First
just,
two.
for some reason, I always liked werewolves more than any other monster. And I think what it was, and I want to see if either of you had ever seen or remember or heard of this, was there's this ABC family show when I was growing up where a kid got bit by a werewolf and he was in high school and it basically used the werewolf thing as superpowers, and
Talking
it
about
was
the mo-
really cool.
You're talking about
I
the movie
really
Teen Wolf.
No, no,
no
not
no
a
no
movie.
no
It
no
was a
no.
show.
I know
It was
what
a
you're
show.
talking about. I've seen like actually I know what you're talking about. I've seen a couple of like episodes on YouTube, but I basically remember it from it used to be on in Moscow when I was a little kid, and it's
Mm.
just the dubbing was just so bad. It was just like one guy, just one monotone Russian guy, just completely fucking bored out of his mind, just reading all the lines for all the characters, female and male, just going like, Здрасте. Как ты себя делаешь, Drake? Oh no. Just completely
Someone get
bored.
shot? Oh
Well, no, like
no.
the reason I bring it up is I remember watching that show when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed it. And recently, I thought I found it on Netflix, but what I actually found was the series Teen Wolf from
Mm,
MTV.
Yeah, that's
mm.
still on.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that?
not terrible. It's a little too like teen drama Twilight-ish.
Ugh.
Is
I
it?
mean, it's trying to
Oh,
capitalize on the Twilight thing, but at least it's got a somewhat interesting story in that the main character is, just become a werewolf and he's fallen in love with a girl whose parents happen to be werewolf hunters. So there's some
uh,
actually interesting drama to that.
is it
Yeah.
Tyler? Is it what's his name? Tyler Lautner? Is that the right guy? Is it Shark Boy?
I have no idea.
No,
Hmm.
no, no, no. That's Twilight.
Oh, okay then.
Really?
I
That was Shark Boy? I did not even know
Yeah,
that.
I
he
did.
was Shark
It's.
Boy. Oh, I love that movie, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That was like my pinnacle childhood. Like,
I
oh,
never
Shark
want to
Boy.
see it again because I have nostalgia for it, and I know if
I
I watch
never
it.
saw that movie. That was it, for me. Like I'm a little older than you two, so for me that would have been Spy Kids 2 or 3.
I
Oh,
love Spy Kids 2, and I've been there for Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3, and the Lava Girl and
Yeah,
Shark.
I did not watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I stopped at Spy Kids 3 because I
I
knew
love them
that it
all.
would never get better than the line, "Why does every video game have lava?" Actually, in blah, 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 it was magma. Shut your mouth.
I hate all the Spy Kids movies. Just saying,
You
I
dig.
love them.
I hate them.
Really?
I
Oh,
can't stand any of them.
you have no soul, my friend. You have no soul.
And I was a kid. I was the target audience for those movies when they came out.
I don't remember him that well. I just remember I enjoyed the line from Spy Kids 3, where it's like, "Why does every video game have lava?" Actually, it's blah, 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 4, it was magma. Just shut up. I was really fun. That was just really well written dialogue.
Uh,
But
The old man in a robot suit is cool.
yeah,
yeah. I
Shark
like.
Boy. Actually, here we go. The thing I was making about Teen Wolf is it was actually done with mostly makeup effects. There's, what like the big werewolf is actually CGI, but when the main characters are turned into werewolves, they actually do makeup, and they use really good seamless transitions. um, which I was really impressed by. Like there was one really cool shot where the guy is in his werewolf form, and it's this basement that's got like shadows coming in and out of rafters and stuff like that. And he's in his werewolf form. He steps through the shadow, and when he gets on the other side of the shadow, he's in normal human form, right? And that was really well done, especially because you knew it was practical effects like contact lenses and makeup for the bridge of the nose and the flattened forehead and stuff like that.
Please tell
Hmm,
me you guys have seen American Werewolf in London.
I have.
Parts of it, yes.
It
I've
I
is
never,
one
have.
of my favorite movies of all time.
I've never
Have you
sat down to
seen
watch the
have you seen the American Werewolf in Paris also?
That was garbage.
I've seen that. I've
It
seen
was so
Paris.
bad.
Because
But
again, the werewolves are all CG.
mhm.
Mm, mm.
And in American Werewolf in London, it's all practical and it looks fantastic. And the guy won an
It
Oscar.
does.
Yeah.
The fucking the jaw just stretching and the sounds and the
Oh,
guy
so cool.
screaming. It's just like ah,
And
and
it's
his
all to
hand.
upbeat 70s music.
Oh,
So
it's just.
cool.
Yeah.
You know why they picked all
Yeah,
that
because it all
soundtrack?
has the word moon in it.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway,
Say Zazubar, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you do you know the video game Nerd?
What's
Have
the
you
name?
ever watched the video game nerd, the
Oh,
angry
the Angry
video
Video
game
Game
nerd?
Nerd.
Have you ever seen Godzillathon?
I have.
Okay then, just asking. Move
mhm.
on, Ian.
Well, like the point I was making, Teen Wolf did a very good job with practical effects, and then their digital effects were lacking because it's a television
Budget.
show, so they
Smallville,
never.
cough, cough.
Yeah, Smallville, cough, cough. Smallville sucks balls. Um,
Uh,
like Dark Side. I seriously I watched the last episode just because okay, Dark Side's in it. I want to see Superman fight Dark Side in live action because it's going to be a long time before I ever get to see that, and that was so disappointing.
Wasn't it just Clark fighting Lionel
he
Luthor?
doesn't ha
He didn't even fight him. He just flew through him.
Dude, he didn't have red eyes. He did not have red eyes.
I mean, the dark side they made didn't look terrible when he was on screen. I didn't like the whole smoke monster thing, but
Mm-mm.
the dark side they made, I mean, for a CGI dark side on a television budget, not terrible.
I mean,
But what they did with him was absolute crap.
I like what they did with the Doomsday.
No, I hated that. I hated Doomsday in that. I watched like a summarization of how they used Doomsday. It was absolute crap.
I
The
saw the
like
fight itself. It was
No,
the
I
look of
thought,
Doomsday was okay, but he was
yeah,
like
that's what I'm talking
five
about.
foot
Look,
two.
yeah, he was too small and his muscles weren't big enough.
mm,
Like Clark came up to him and he was literally towering over him. They should not have used the same actor that the guy was turning into Doomsday for. They really should
Oh
have
my god, what
wrestled
Doomsday
or something.
was so stupid.
They
what is
should have
he?
gotten a wrestler or somebody. Like I don't mind wrestlers because they're actually really good physical actors.
Yeah.
Mm,
They're not, good at speaking lines and stuff, but if you need fight scenes and you're going to have guys in layers and layers of makeup so you can't tell who they are anyway, get professional wrestlers because they know how to do a fake fight.
Yeah,
mm.
exactly.
Um,
Hold on, is was Dooms? I only seen the fight on YouTube, but is Doomsday basically Bizarro in Smallville, just a more fucked
no,
up
no,
version
it's
of
like
it?
some kid turned into Doomsday.
No, they have their own version of Bizarro, and that's crap too.
Oh,
Yeah, broken face Clark. Um,
Don't even go there.
oh, I
ugh,
went. And,
the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's probably Zazubaar.
I'm moving a
Yeah,
desk. Leave me alone.
yeah. No, we won't leave you alone.
Here's an
We will.
idea. When recording a conversation, maybe don't make a bunch of noise in the background.
I apologize. I
Yes,
have no choice.
Zazubar.
Anyway,
My hands are tied.
okay, so the Milan, you never really talked about like horrible practical effects because I think we're
Hmm.
being a little too harsh on CGI because
Mm,
I think there are still are a lot to say about
okay. I
when you should
got
be using practical effects.
I got this really bad practical effect. Basically, there's this fairy tale movie in Russia. It's basically some blonde blue eyes jerk gets his head turned into a bear. I mean, his head gets turned into a bear's head by this mushroom wizard or something. By this mushroom wizard guy,
I
and
really don't
basically
want to know.
you don't. Basically, what happens is like they just get the worst fucking. They just basically chop the bit at the head of a bear, and just put it on his face, and like he's talking all dramatically, and the face just like the bottom lip just moves ever so slightly, and it's just like, and he's just he's just like, oh, what have you done to me, you bitch, and he just runs away.
All
It's
right,
like.
this is going to be a little controversial, but actually the worst practical effect I've seen in a good movie is the first Alien.
Really?
They
Ooh,
shot it really well so that you can't tell unless you watch it in HD. Because
yeah, and
most
I
of the
hate.
time the alien thing is a black guy running around practically naked with this weird hat on.
What?
And then they do really, really, really big close-ups because they don't want you to see it because the costume was absolute crap.
Well, they
So I
just have
mean
a, but they
that's
just
kind
have
of
a,
a testament to how you can shoot a good movie using terrible effects.
so
Ian,
they
I hate
basically,
to agree with you on this one, but yeah. I mean, this is one of the few times where I'm like, I don't want to agree with him, but I have to
dude,
because the shot where the alien gets blown out of the airlock looks terrible.
The one that I remember the most is when the guy first goes in the ventilation system and you see it and it just looked awful.
That one,
hold on. It's so basically the alien is just basically a naked black guy running around with a weird ass helmet.
Pretty much.
well, not in the close-up scenes. They use an actual suit, but when it's encased in shadows, yeah.
So it's basically a black naked guy coming out of the shadows.
It's very hard to tell when you see the movie, but yeah, basically.
Oh, oh shit.
Also, one other problem I have is that the mouth that comes out of the inner mouth when it comes out looks like animatronics. Like it doesn't look organic.
Yeah, I agree. The first Alien movie, not the best thing ever. but thank God we got Sigourney Weaver in underpants.
Yeah, yeah, motherfucker. Oh yeah.
Sexism.
Oh yeah, even though she's like the hero.
Yeah.
Silly woman, you can't be in a movie and not be half naked at one point.
Silly woman.
Yeah.
I
Your
don't have
job,
a
your
friend.
job, your job is to, to carry my seed.
And the alien feels the same way.
Yeah, hell
Have you guys
yeah.
seen the cracked videos?
The what?
Like cracked after hours? Have you seen those?
No.
No.
It's the greatest concept ever. What they do is they have a conversation like this. Then they take the funniest parts of those conversations, they write them down, then they add jokes, and then they film that script. So the guys, they're having a conversation about what the worst like monster is, or the worst fate or something like that. And the guy goes, the Alien movies, because it's just all male rape. The thing rapes its way into you, then it rapes its way out of you after you've gestated it. It's just a terrible, horrifying system of rape. When you think about it, it's right because it disseminates itself, and then it gestates, and then it like forces its way out of you in the most painful way imaginable.
Just like
Would
a
you guys
black
believe me if
man.
I said that was Ridley Scott's point?
Yeah,
That was
Bas-
his whole thing of the reason of
You know,
the alien in the original Alien. That's why it's a dude who gets impregnated.
yeah.
so but that would make more sense if they had shot aliens on in a prison. Like,
Well, I mean,
hey,
the
male
thing is,
rape.
the aliens are giant phallic symbols.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why they did that too. Also, Milan, Alien 3 takes place in a prison.
No, it doesn't.
Alien 3 does, yeah.
There's no such thing.
Alien 3, you've never seen it?
No, no,
He's refusing to acknowledge its existence.
there's no Alien 3. What are you talking?
Oh, clever girl. Okay,
Oh, it's silly.
silly woman.
What about the greatest alien movie of all time, Alien Resurrection? Right? Am I
More like
right?
Alien anti-erection.
Oh, yes. I don't. No, 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 no. I don't see because there's no such thing.
Stop.
Your job is to carry my
Okay,
seed.
we're good. We're good. Um,
Haha, dangle
times can we
farts.
use the same joke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, women shouldn't think too much.
They might hurt themselves.
Exactly.
Ian's losing like 5 subscribers from this.
No, no women subscribe to me. You kidding me? You seen my videos? Have you seen my video Why I Don't Have a Girlfriend?
No.
Yes, I
Go
have.
watch that. Go watch that.
You look really
I
good in
don't
a
need an
dress.
explanation, Ian.
No,
No,
Ian,
no. Trust me. Watch it. You will laugh.
Ian, you look really good in a dress.
I do. I am damn sexy in a dress.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you do. I would do terrible things to you. No, I
Click,
wouldn't.
Zazubaar hangs up and walks out of the room and dies.
My,
No, seriously. What I did is I got my friend Jessica, and it's like a scene because, like I said, I do a lot of these random things where it's not even like qualified as what the hell kind of YouTuber I am. So do this like comedy scene, this sketch scene, and we're supposed to be in a relationship, and she's like, "You never open up. Like whenever we have sex, you're sitting there. It feels so awkward. Like you're just going through the motions. I want you to open up. I want you to do whatever you want. It's okay." So then she, takes my hand and leads me into the room. And then the door closes, and you just hear her say, "Okay, whatever you want." I'm like, "Shut your whore mouth!" And she's like, "Is that an egg beater?" And then it
and
cut.
there's an elephant at some point.
Yeah, yeah. Then there's like circus music and elephant noises. Then it just cuts to me and her sitting on the couch, and I'm wearing a dress and like handing her a box of tissues, and she's like crying and just mascara running, and I'm just like, "We're broken up, aren't we?" And she like nods her head yes, and she's sobbing and go, "Ah, told you so." And
Indeed.
that is the exact reason that Ian does not have a girlfriend. It's funny because she actually left a comment on the video. She's like, Ian, this just proves you're too kinky for me.
Ah,
I'm pretty sure I'm much kinkier.
Oh, the things I can do to a woman if she'd just let me.
you guys do
Uh,
not want to see my closet. You'll both
I
be
don't
surprised.
have. Oh, there's a lot of rubber there, like green rubber with
Okay, okay.
scales.
3, 2, 1. Who owns the GIMP costume? Raise your hand. It's a
Uh-huh.
video. It's an audio call, so you can't tell, but I'm raising my hand.
Me too. I own three.
Really? Why do you need 3 GIMP costumes? Are you like cheating on
One
your?
for each time zone on them.
Indeed. Actually, the one for so there's one for her, one for him, and one for it. Okay, never mind.
That was a fat joke. Just saying.
Yeah, I got it. So
Were we
anyway,
talking about something?
yes, yes, lizards.
Oh no, actually, here we go. Let's transition from the GIMP suit. Pulp Fiction.
Oh, gimps. They're so funny.
Well,
Say,
no,
guys,
that was actually a fairly well done practical scene in Pulp Fiction.
yeah, yeah. Say, guys, have you guys watched American Horror Story?
No.
It's like a
Mhm.
TV show.
All I see
It
is
I've
the
seen
all
episodes.
I've seen is
Not
the
a fan.
very famous GIMP picture from it.
it
Not a
is
fan. I
it
watched. I think the first 2 or 3 episodes. Didn't care for it.
I
Particularly the maid. That was very very. It was like supposed to be creepy, and it wasn't creepy. It was just like weird. It's like,
oh
oh, she's sexy, but really she's this decrepit old bitch. It's like, what the hell is going on?
That sums up every single time I try to hit on a girl.
ha
We
ha.
got jokes.
I need like a drum tap whenever I say something. I was like,
You need a rim shot? You need a rim shot?
yeah.
I can hit you up with a rim shot.
All right, I need a rim shot, bro.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, go.
So yeah, whenever I flirt with a woman, turns out that she's an old decrepit creature.
Actually, I got a lot of
Bravo.
these. My favorite is CSI one because I can do stuff like this. I can be like, you know, I'm inclined to be a laid back kind of guy.
Ah! I'm a
Oh.
science major.
It looks like he.
After I say this thing, play the music. The yeah. Okay, ready? I have a penis. Hmm.
That didn't work.
Yes, it did.
No, because you're supposed to use that with a pun.
It looks like he's been disarmed.
You
Yes.
need the lead up though, Zazubaar. You gotta get the lead up.
All right. Next.
I feel like the guy on the radio shows that no one likes, but everyone keeps listening to.
Oh, like those like very annoying like mid '90s freaking DJs.
Yeah, where they always have the sound effects, but you can't help but keep listening because the sound effects are actually hilarious, even though you don't like them.
Yeah. Like John
Uh,
Stamos.
Uh, no, but American Horror Story. I don't know. I think they're using mostly digital effects in that, aren't they?
no, no, they're using mostly practical effects
I
that
can't
I
believe.
actually.
No, no, go on.
Oh, I don't believe they actually have any CGI effects. It's all practical blood and shit.
Hmm. Well, blood is easy. Digital blood is almost bordering on lazy.
Yeah.
I hate using digital blood unless we just absolutely cannot destroy the costume because it's too expensive, or if we
Yeah.
just don't have the time to get it set up.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
digital blood, I mean, it can work to add to something, but you should always use practical blood if you can, especially because even on a low budget, all you need is some fake blood and then some condoms, duct tape, washer, and super glue and fishing line. And then you have a fantastic digital or fantastic practical effect for someone getting shot or stabbed. In which case, you only need about half of those supplies.
No. You know all the
Either
stuff
that
you
or a
mentioned
great
before.
porno.
I'm
Yes,
sorry, what?
exactly.
I'm sorry,
Like
I didn't hear you, Bill.
I just said either
basically,
that or you have a great porno.
you God damn it, you stole my joke.
Well, no, like actually, here, let me tell you what part to skip to. I'll find it real quick. You can see what exactly I was talking about there.
Yeah,
Um,
I hear you. And thing is that whenever I do stop motion stuff, and stop motion, I say it's not really that great of stop motion. Whenever I use action figures in a video and I need to show that they're bleeding, I always use paint because I
Mm.
don't want to actually put fake blood or red marker on the figure because I know I have to use it again later without the blood.
mhm.
So it's a pain in the ass, It's but sometimes it's a necessary evil.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to put paint on all over your toys.
Because you're a grown man and toys are important.
Yeah. Mm.
They are when they cost you $70 a pop.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, you can buy a reasonably priced woman for $70 in Russia.
Okay, go to
I don't
six
doubt
minutes.
that, Milan.
Yeah, you can buy
Here,
two
watch
for
this
70
video. Go to
bucks.
6 minutes and 15 seconds.
What are you doing? Hold on a second. Are you guys Sid, did you just send him a video?
I sent it to both of you.
Oh, right.
Is this
All right.
real life? Where am I going?
6 minutes, 15 seconds.
Okay.
All right
And I'll
then.
play this part of the clip for you guys in the video.
All
All
right.
right then.
That'll help me in editing.
Pretty sure this is a waste of time. It's probably long gone by now. I don't know. I just think that.
Wow, it looks really good.
Yeah, go ahead and pause it. See, that was the whole condom and fishing line setup that we used
Yeah.
to get that effect. Just that's like how you can see. I prefer to use practical effects, especially when blood is in it. But it depends on time.
So what you say 6 minutes and what?
15 seconds.
See, and the thing is that
Uh,
those are two things that are actually in the same frame, so it looks more convincing than if you say took like let's say you cut out real blood from an image of something and you put it on that image. It wouldn't look very convincing.
No, definitely wouldn't.
so 6 minutes and what?
15 seconds, you Serbian fuck. How many
It's
times do I have
Russian
to say it?
it's Russian Serbian fuck to you.
You stupid
Mr.
Australian
Russian
immigrant.
Serbian fuck to you.
Yeah,
Listen,
see? He gets it
Australian
right.
piece of shit. I don't care where you're from. You mean absolutely nothing to me. You know that shit that you step on when you're outside and it gets in between the soles of your shoes? You mean less to me than.
All right. Okay, here it is.
Nobody steps on a church in my town.
Shut up.
Compelling audio.
Everyone's just like, oh my god, I wish I was there in the conversation. Everyone just saying, this is what a typical chat with Ian is like.
Yep, pretty much. I insult you and I tell you to watch my videos and like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he rants
That's
about how awesome he is for 10 minutes. And you just gotta smile and nod. Because you can't
Yep.
beat him.
Yep, and you always got to be nice to me because if you're nice to me, then I'll make Godzilla videos for you or some random crap like that.
And I wouldn't know anything about that, would I?
Nope, you sure wouldn't. Lon, how long does it take you to watch? It's only like
Damn. That's
10
really
seconds.
good.
Did you
Yeah.
skip like a minute before he told you?
What? No, I just seen it.
Just to spite him?
Yeah, really, I have. I like to spite Ian. It's like one of my hobbies.
Just what would you do, Milan, if I just showed up on your doorstep one day with, like an assault rifle?
I'll put you down in my basement and you'll never see the light of day again.
Nah, see, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think you would legitimately like freak out because like I know I'm one of your heroes, and that like you get all like teary-eyed when you talk about ever seeing me in person. So you'd see me and be like, "Oh, he is here, and he's brought an assault rifle. We're going to shoot kangaroos or something." And I do a terrible Milan impression, but anyway, we're gonna shoot kangaroos, and then all of a sudden I just like start like pumping you full of lead. But the thing is, you're so fat that like the bullets just kind of stay in there. They don't really go anywhere, and like some of them are kind of bouncing off, but others have the right velocity that they actually stick in the flesh. And then you're like, okay, sorry for being, rude and spiting you and stuff like that. Please don't shoot me with any more assault rifles.
Milan, do they
Uh,
have assault rifles in Australia?
No,
no,
they just
no,
have
we no.
kangaroos.
No, no, we just have boomerangs. There's no guns. They're just boomerangs. If you the cops just throw boomerangs at people.
So it's no man's land all of a sudden.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Batman
yeah, it is.
reference. High five.
Yeah.
Was it
Ian,
Batman that
and
showed them
Ian,
how to throw boomerangs? Like, was he disguised?
No, no, it was just Gordon.
No, no,
say
like,
yeah,
I swear, like,
Ian,
there was this cop that showed everyone how to make and throw boomerangs.
Yeah. I don't
Ian,
know if it was Batman though. That would make sense.
What?
Ian. I don't really think you can actually lift an assault rifle with your tiny little girly hands.
That's true. I'll probably need a couple snub nose revolvers. And those
Mm,
will pierce.
Milan, he'll
you
just
know,
hire your close friends and loved ones who will quickly turn on you at the drop of $50.
$50. Shit. We're talking about Russians, man. They'll turn on him for a sip of vodka.
um, half a sip of vodka actually.
Like, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even need to give your mom anything as long as it's just not inconveniencing her that day.
Oh no, she'll
Like,
do
as
it for
long as she doesn't
free.
have to go shopping or anything, I'm sure your mom would betray you, like, at the drop of a hat.
You bet your ass.
Just be like, Mrs. Milan, would you, help
Yeah, because that's her name.
She'll actually shoot you just referencing my name and her in one sentence. She'll kill you for that.
Mrs. Poor unfortunate soul that shat out Milan? Would you mind helping me destroy that child? Oh, sure. No one's ever asked before, but fine. You know, totally. And on
I
that
never had
note,
the right
switch over.
opportunity. Milan's mom made her sound like Vegeta.
Good. I did not make a good Vegeta impression. I'm actually quite happy with myself because I've always wanted to be able to do a Vegeta impression. So I'm just gonna try like to do Milan's mother's voice, and I guess that's gonna come out like Vegeta.
Just
Say
do it.
goodbye to your planet, Milan.
I
Say
am
it.
the ultimate life form.
No, say you'll never amount to anything in Vegeta's voice.
You'll never amount to anything.
That's
Can't
so.
believe I wasted the time shitting you out of my womb.
And then you'll both be in a gravity room, and he'll go Super Saiyan, and then you'll be really disappointed.
Oh,
Do I actually sound like your mother? Because that'd be awesome. If your mother sounded like Vegeta, I would be so happy.
she does sound like Vegeta, but a Russian Vegeta. Do Vegeta with a Russian accent.
I don't know. I'm not some dog and pony show. I'm not. I'm not a monkey
Sure
with a
you
little
are.
hat in the fucking symbols.
Milan, throw pennies at him. He'll do it.
I'm miming throwing pennies at you, Ian. Do the thing that I told you to do.
No.
That's a
Come
double
on.
impression. Oh.
Come on. Oh, yeah, you probably can't do it.
Yeah, you're right. I can't.
Yeah,
Oh,
so the great.
Guys.
my throat would probably be thrown out if I tried.
Come on, try it, Zazubar. Come on.
Ugh. All right. I can't do it. No, it's impossible. It's like trying. It's like trying to shoot a gun while painting a painting at the same time.
All right, here, let me try.
What if you shoot a paintball gun
Ho
at a
ho!
canvas? Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. See what I'm
Dude,
doing?
Touche.
let me try to
Oh,
impersonate my
that's
mother.
that's Milan. That's not fair.
Okay, let me try to impersonate my mother while in the Vegeta voice, in a Russian Vegeta voice. You will never amount to anything. No?
That
Nah.
wasn't bad.
I mean, it was okay, Vegeta. I didn't get any of the Russian out of it, but okay.
Yeah. Okay, like
Well, that's just the
you
fact
will.
that he has a Russian accent.
Let's see. You will never amount to anything.
That's just, okay.
All right.
Well,
all
I
right.
think
I'm
we've
moderately impressed.
pretty much, gone on full tangent mode to just a completely different topic, and we discussed not turning this into another 3-hour video. So I think that's going to be it for us on the topic of CGI versus practical effects, and I think
All
we
right.
came down on it more towards love for practical, but obviously we know that CGI has a place and a purpose.
Yeah, it's
A
a
mixture
necessary
is
evil.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So
necessary evil.
thank you for joining us. I'm Sydpart2.
I'm Milanjeftic1992.
And I am a very weary and tired Zazubaar.
Goodbye. See you next time.
Bye.